Have you ever noticed how something as simple as enjoying a cup of coffee or tea can feel different as we get older? Maybe you've stirred in a spoonful of sugar the way you've done for decades, only to find that later you feel a sudden crash in energy, a little fogginess in your head, or even a bit of dizziness. For many people past the age of 60, the body just doesn't handle sugar the way it used to. The same sweet spoonful that once gave you a quick lift now lingers in your bloodstream, causing bigger spikes and dips that are harder to recover from. And it's not just about how we feel in the moment. Over time, those roller coaster swings in blood sugar can affect our overall health, our energy, and even our independence. Doctors today are paying closer attention to the connection between blood sugar and aging. They've noticed that when blood sugar levels are more stable, seniors often feel steadier on their feet, think more clearly, and have an easier time keeping their weight in check. The encouraging news is that stabilizing blood sugar doesn't always mean giving up everything sweet. In fact, research is pointing to a natural sugar substitute that might just help you enjoy a little sweetness in life without sending your blood sugar soaring. This sugar alternative is called allulose. You may not have heard of it before, but it's starting to gain recognition in the medical community and among nutrition experts. What makes allulose so fascinating is that, while it tastes very much like sugar, the body processes it in a completely different way. Instead of spiking blood sugar or insulin, it mostly passes through the body without being absorbed as calories. And here's the surprising part. Some studies suggest it may even help improve insulin sensitivity and support better blood sugar control. Imagine stirring something sweet into your morning coffee or sprinkling it over your oatmeal. But instead of worrying about a sugar crash, you can feel more confident that you're supporting your body's balance. That's what allulose offers. And for people over 60, that balance can make a big difference in daily life. Think about walking into the kitchen mid-morning and feeling steady enough to enjoy your day, or finishing a meal without the usual afternoon slump that makes it tempting to nap away precious hours. These small shifts can add up to more energy, sharper focus, and the freedom to do the things you love. It's not just doctors and researchers who are excited about this discovery. Everyday people are sharing their stories too. Someone who used to struggle with keeping their blood sugar within range after breakfast might notice that switching to allulose leaves them feeling lighter, more energized, and less weighed down. Another person might discover that evening cravings aren't as intense when they use allulose instead of regular sugar. It's not a magic cure, but it's a tool, one that can make everyday choices a little easier and healthier. Of course, the real key is understanding how to use this substitute in a way that fits naturally into your life. No one wants to feel like they're constantly restricting themselves or giving up the little joys of food. And the good news is, with allulose, you don't have to, because it behaves so much like sugar in taste and texture. You can often swap it right into recipes without feeling like you're missing out. That means you can still enjoy your favorite homemade muffins, a slice of birthday cake with the grandkids, or a refreshing glass of iced tea on a hot day, all with more peace of mind about what it's doing to your health. Now, you might be wondering if it's really that simple. Can one sugar substitute make such a difference? The truth is, it's never just one thing. Taking care of our health after 60 is a combination of daily choices, from staying active to eating balanced meals. But sugar plays such a big role in how we feel and function that making this one swap can open the door to other positive changes. When your blood sugar isn't swinging wildly, it's easier to stay motivated to move your body, to make wiser food choices, and even to keep your mood more stable. Think of it this way. Every time you choose allulose over regular sugar, you're giving your body a little gift. You're easing the load on your pancreas. You're smoothing out the bumps in your energy. And you're building a foundation for healthier days ahead. And as simple as it sounds, those small decisions add up. Over weeks and months, they can lead to better weight control, more energy to spend with loved ones, and even protection for your heart and brain. As we dive deeper, I want you to keep something in mind. This isn't about perfection. Nobody expects you to cut out every grain of sugar or to follow strict rules that make life less enjoyable. This is about finding balance, about discovering practical ways to enjoy sweetness, while still honoring your health and your future. So, with that in mind, let's take a closer look at how allulose works inside the body, why doctors are recommending it for seniors, and how you can start bringing it into your daily routine in a way that feels natural and enjoyable. When we start to look closer at why allulose is gaining attention from doctors and researchers, the science becomes both fascinating and encouraging. Unlike table sugar, which is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream and causes a sharp spike in glucose and insulin, allulose takes a different path. It's classified as a rare sugar, meaning it occurs naturally in very small amounts in foods like figs, raisins, and maple syrup. But here's the key difference. The body doesn't metabolize it the same way it does regular sugar. Instead of being converted into glucose and stored as fat or used for quick energy, most of the allulose you consume is simply filtered out by the kidneys and excreted. This means you still get that sweet taste you're used to, but without the harmful rise in blood sugar levels that can leave you tired, irritable, or at risk for long-term complications. Even more impressive, some studies suggest that allulose may actively support the body's insulin response, helping cells become more sensitive to insulin over time. That's important, because as we age, insulin resistance tends to creep in, making it harder for our bodies to handle sugar and increasing the risk of diabetes. Think about how empowering this is. So often, when people over 60 are told to cut back on sugar, it feels like another loss, another reminder that they can't enjoy things the way they used to. But with allulose, the story changes. You're not being told no all the time. Instead, you're being offered a yes, a way to enjoy sweetness without the guilt or the health setbacks. That shift in mindset alone can make healthy living feel more sustainable. Let's make this real with an example. Imagine you start your day with a cup of coffee. For decades, you might have used a teaspoon of sugar without thinking much about it. But now, maybe your doctor has suggested cutting back, and your coffee just doesn't taste the same. Switching to artificial sweeteners might leave an unpleasant aftertaste or even cause digestive issues. With allulose, however, that coffee tastes just like it always has: smooth, sweet, and satisfying. The difference is in how your body reacts afterward. Instead of that mid-morning crash, you're steady, focused, and ready to take on your day. And this isn't just about coffee. Many seniors enjoy a small dessert in the evening, something that feels like a treat at the end of the day. Maybe it's a piece of chocolate, a cookie, or a slice of pie. These are the moments that bring joy and connection, whether you're sharing them with a spouse, grandchildren, or friends at a gathering. Being able to make those desserts with allulose means you don't have to miss out on the sweetness of life while still honoring your health. Doctors often point out that the little choices we make every day have the biggest impact on our long-term well-being. Choosing allulose over sugar may seem like a small decision, but it can ripple outward in powerful ways. When your blood sugar is stable, you're less likely to feel intense cravings that push you toward overeating. You're more likely to stay active because your energy is balanced throughout the day. And perhaps most importantly, you're taking one more step toward protecting your heart, your brain, and your independence as you age. Another point worth mentioning is how allulose can support weight management. After 60, many people find it harder to lose excess weight, even when they're eating less than before. This often comes down to slower metabolism and hormonal changes that make the body less efficient at processing food. Regular sugar only makes this worse, since it's high in calories and easy to overconsume. Allulose, on the other hand, contributes almost no usable calories, which means you can still enjoy sweetness without adding to your daily energy load. For those trying to maintain a healthy weight or even shed a few pounds to feel more comfortable and mobile, this is a game changer. There's also something reassuring about knowing that this isn't just another fad. Unlike some sweeteners that have come and gone, leaving behind questions about safety, allulose has been studied extensively and recognized as safe by health authorities. Doctors appreciate that it doesn't carry the same risks of digestive distress that sugar alcohols like maltitol or sorbitol sometimes do. In fact, most people tolerate it very well, especially when it's introduced gradually. You might be curious about how to start using it. The beauty of allulose is in its versatility. You can stir it into beverages, sprinkle it on fruit, or use it in baking. Because it browns and caramelizes like sugar, it's particularly satisfying in recipes where that texture and flavor matter. Imagine baking a batch of chocolate chip cookies with the grandkids and being able to enjoy one right alongside them without worrying about what it will do to your blood sugar. These moments matter, and allulose makes them more accessible. Of course, it's important to remember that while allulose is a wonderful tool, it's not a license to overindulge. The key is balance. Pairing it with a nutrient-rich diet that includes plenty of vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats will give you the best results. Think of allulose as a bridge, helping you cross from the old habits that once weighed you down to new ones that support your energy, your health, and your joy in life. What's exciting is that this one simple swap can spark a ripple effect. When people feel that they don't have to give up all their favorite foods, they're more willing to stick with healthier eating patterns. They start to feel better, which encourages them to walk more, to stay social, to keep moving and laughing and living with vitality. All because they found a way to enjoy sweetness without the downside. As we continue, I want you to think about your own daily routines. Picture the little places where sugar sneaks in. Is it your morning coffee? That slice of toast with jam? Maybe a spoonful in your tea before bed? Now imagine how different your days could feel if you made just one of those swaps with allulose. That's the power of small changes. They set the stage for bigger transformations without overwhelming you. One of the most remarkable things doctors have noticed about allulose is that it doesn't just avoid raising blood sugar. It may actually help the body respond in ways that go beyond what we expect from a sweetener. Research shows that allulose can increase levels of a hormone called GLP-1. Now, if you've heard of GLP-1 before, it's probably because of all the recent attention around medications that mimic this hormone to help with diabetes and weight loss. But here's what makes it interesting for you. Your body already produces GLP-1 naturally, and it plays a big role in controlling blood sugar and appetite. When GLP-1 rises, it signals your pancreas to release insulin more effectively, which helps keep blood sugar stable. But it doesn't stop there. GLP-1 also tells your brain and stomach that you've had enough to eat. It slows down digestion just a little, giving you a greater sense of fullness and reducing those strong urges to snack between meals. For many seniors who struggle with cravings, whether it's the mid-afternoon pull toward cookies or the late-night temptation of ice cream, this natural increase in GLP-1 can make all the difference. Think about what that means in everyday life. Instead of fighting against your own body, white-knuckling your way through cravings, you're working with it. You're giving yourself a sweet taste that satisfies the tongue, but also encourages your body to feel full and content. It's a completely different experience from eating regular sugar, which often leaves you wanting more and more. That constant tug toward sweets can feel exhausting and discouraging, but with allulose, those cravings don't shout as loudly. For someone over 60, this is powerful. Appetite regulation tends to get more challenging with age. Hormones shift, muscle mass declines, and the metabolism slows. Even if you're eating the same foods you always have, you might find the pounds creeping on or your energy dipping. That's why having something that naturally helps your body manage appetite and cravings is such a gift. It allows you to enjoy food without feeling trapped by it. Picture yourself sitting down to dinner. Maybe it's a simple meal, grilled chicken, some vegetables, and a small baked potato. You finish your plate, and instead of immediately thinking about dessert or feeling unsatisfied, your body feels content. Later that evening, instead of wandering into the kitchen for cookies or chips, you're satisfied with a cup of tea, lightly sweetened with allulose. That sense of peace around food is something many people don't realize they're missing until they experience it. What's especially motivating is how these small wins add up. When your cravings are calmer, you naturally eat fewer empty calories. That leads to steadier weight, better blood sugar numbers at your doctor visits, and more confidence in your ability to make healthy choices. And when you have more control, you don't feel deprived. You feel empowered. You're not giving up sweetness, you're just choosing a kind that works with your body instead of against it. Another area where doctors see promise is in long-term protection. By reducing spikes in blood sugar, supporting insulin sensitivity, and encouraging more GLP-1 release, allulose may help protect against some of the complications that worry so many older adults, like heart disease and cognitive decline. Stable blood sugar isn't just about avoiding diabetes, it's about protecting the energy, clarity, and independence that make life worth living. And here's something else that often goes overlooked. Food is more than fuel. It's part of our social lives, our family traditions, our joy. At 60, 70, or 80, you deserve to enjoy birthday cake with your grandchildren, Sunday dinners with your family, and even a sweet treat with your coffee. The beauty of allulose is that it allows you to keep those joyful moments while taking care of your health. It's not about restriction, It's about balance and freedom. Now, it's true that no single change will transform everything overnight. But if you think about health like a ladder, each choice is a rung that brings you higher. Choosing allulose instead of sugar is one of those choices. It doesn't require a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. It's a simple, doable step you can take today that puts you in a better position for tomorrow. So the next time you reach for sugar, pause and consider swapping it for allulose. Notice how it tastes, how your body feels afterward, and whether those cravings ease up. Pay attention to the little differences in your energy and your mood. These are the signs that your body is responding, that you're moving toward more stability, more vitality, and more freedom. Remember, aging well isn't about chasing perfection. It's about creating small, steady changes that add up to a healthier, happier life. Choosing allulose may seem like just one decision, but it's a decision that can ripple out into every part of your day, your meals, your energy, your relationships, and your future. If you've ever felt frustrated by sugar or discouraged by your cravings, I hope this gives you hope. You don't have to give up sweetness, and you don't have to feel at war with your own body. With tools like allulose, you can enjoy the foods you love, steady your blood sugar, calm your cravings, and step confidently into this next chapter of life. So give it a try, share your experience with others, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and join our community here. Together we can keep learning, keep encouraging each other, and keep proving that life after 60 can be not just healthy, but truly sweet. Here's to enjoying every bite, every moment, and every year with balance and joy.